Hi everyone and welcome to my series on potty training. I will be taking you all through our journey of potty training, or basically potty learning, because I wouldn't exactly say training because it was a long learning process for Ariella, and it did not happen overnight, and there were countless number of times that I failed and I gave up as well in the past 1.5 years. So I just want to take you through the nitty-gritties of what I did so far to actually have a diaper-free child. For those of you who have been following me for a while now, you all would know that I have been struggling with potty training Ariella for a while. So I first started when she was 18 months. I bought a basic potty. We spoke about it. Also keep in mind that Ariella is a child that was diagnosed with isolated speech delay, where the gap has now been bridged. It was a very small gap, but she still had it, and she couldn't quite communicate to me at 18 months, but my line of thinking was that if my mom could have potty trained me by the time I was 10 months, how come I couldn't do it for my 18-month-old? So that was a line of thinking that I was going on, and I later realized that I was quite wrong, because she just wasn't ready. I mean, she wasn't ready at all. At 18 months, although I introduced the potty to her and we kept her diaper free during the day, she would just pee and poop everywhere, like everywhere. And that was very frustrating to me. So I watched for about 2 weeks, and then I gave up, because I'm kind of not the mom who has a ton of patience to be dealing with all the accidents. So I gave up, and I thought, okay, it's okay. I'm gonna try again in another 6 months when she's 2 and see how she does. At 2 years, she actually went to the potty. She would sit on it, but she wouldn't do her job in it. She used to poop in a bucket. She has peed behind the bed. She would hide behind a curtain and do her job. And then again, because we were in lockdown, I tried for about 3.5, about 3.5 weeks, and I gave up. I just gave up, and I actually thought to myself, she can be in diapers till she's 40. I don't care. And I was also pregnant, so I mean, given all of that, I wasn't ready to make the commitment. Maybe if I had stuck on, maybe she would have been trained eventually. But once I finally did train her, I realized that I'd been making a mistake all along. It wasn't Ariella, it was just me. It was my mental mindset of trying to force this thing on her without letting it naturally happen. Like, something that I realized was, even at 2.5, I tried. At 2.5, I spoke to a pediatrician. I told him exactly what we'd been going through, and I really tried. And it was an epic failure. The first day, she had no accidents. She did everything in the potty. And actually, she was asking to go to the commode, so I got her this little step stool and a little seat that went with the potty, that went onto the commode, and actually let her sit on it. But the first day was fine, but the second day was terrible. It was a disaster. She would tell me she wanted to pee and poop, and when I took her, she would just scream. She just screamed blue murder seeing the commode every single time. It was so traumatic. She was holding her pee and poop in, and at that time, I was really scared that I was like mentally affecting her with my goal to potty train her. So because of that, I stopped completely, and I gave her a break of 2 months before I started again. And let me tell you what exactly worked for us in my next segment.